Omega just released a new Seamaster. On top of that, we have new releases from Mido, from Ming, from Bell & Ross, and many others. My name is Oleg, that right there is Mr. Bond, and this is a weekly YouTube show where we talk about the latest watch releases. Now let's talk about this new Mido Ocean Star Worldtimer. This new Mido Ocean Star Worldtimer is not a true Worldtimer. It doesn't have a jumping GMT hand. However, it does have a Worldtimer bezel and looks straight out of 1970s. The dimensions of the case are very reasonable, 40.5mm diameter by about 13mm case height. The movement powering this one is the caliber Mido 80, which is essentially a Powermatic 80. It beats at 3 Hz and it comes with 80 hours of power reserve. A bit of a letdown here because this watch doesn't even come with the GMT movement. I don't know why Mido has access to these GMT movements, and on a watch like this, having a GMT function would make a lot of sense. Even if it was an office type GMT and not a flyer GMT, it still would be preferable to what we got here. So that's really my only negative about this watch. Everything else I like quite a bit. I really like the styling. I really like the band style leather strap. I think that looks really good. And I really like the pricing for this watch. It will be part of the standard collection. It's not a limited edition. And this watch is priced at around €1,000. But of course, a few months from now, you can find them for about 30 to 40% off on a gray market. Next, let's talk about this new Parmigiani Fleurier Tonda PF Sport Chronograph. So this new chronograph for 2025 is actually based on the previous release from a couple of years ago. That one was a Panda that was available in a few different color combinations, and it was also available in a platinum case. This new chronograph comes in an 18 karat rose gold case. However, the dimensions stayed about the same, a 42mm diameter, an impressive 12.9mm case height. Why do I say impressive? Because this is a high beat automatic chronograph that is powered by the in-house caliber PF070 that beats at 5 Hz, and it comes with an impressive 65 hours of power reserve. Having an automatic chronograph under 13mm in case height is no small feat. The other impressive part about this chronograph is the water resistance rating, 100 meters. Usually these precious metal sports chronographs come with 30 to 50 meters. This one here you could enjoy as your summer watch if your pockets are deep enough. So in terms of the pricing, this will not be a limited edition. It's part of the standard catalog, and this watch costs about 49,000 Swiss francs. Next, let's talk about the new Titoni Seascoper 300 Bi-Compax chronograph. Back in the day, I used to own a little Titoni watch. I actually found it at a flea market, and that's how I was introduced to this brand. From my understanding, they're a lot more popular in Asia than they are in North America. This new chronograph for 2025 is roughly based on the existing model line, the Seascoper 300, but this time it comes featuring a chronograph function. The case has also been changed slightly. So the case is now 41mm in diameter as opposed to 42mm on the standard diver. So that's a welcomed addition. However, it is also thicker, about 15.5mm in case height, because it is powered by an automatic chronograph movement, the Sellita SW510, which beats at 4 Hz and comes with roughly 48 hours of power reserve. As far as the looks of this watch go, I quite like it. I think it's kind of conservative. There's something Breitling-esque about it. Not sure how I feel about the ghost-like nature for the bezel. Maybe some markings would be welcomed, although I'm not sure, maybe it would make the overall design too cluttered. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Would you prefer markings on this bezel, or do you like it the way it is? I do like the fact that this is a Bi-Compax, which makes the dial a lot cleaner, and I also like the date integration at the 6 o'clock position. I think that looks very nice and balanced. The only thing that I would really change is maybe shrinking the Titoni logo by the 12 o'clock position. I think right now it's a little bit too overpowering. Other than that, I quite like how this watch looks. Now, this will be part of the standard catalog. It's not a limited edition, and this watch is available in a few different dial and bezel combinations. All of them have exactly the same price, $3,220 USD. Next, let's talk about the new Omega Seamaster Diver 300M No Date, now with orange accents. This new Seamaster 300M is pretty much exactly the same as the already existing no date version. However, now it comes with the orange rubber strap. That's an option. It also comes with some orange highlights on the dial. You can see the Seamaster written in orange, the orange seconds hand, as well as the outline for 12, 3, 6, and 9 indexes. And to be honest with you, that part of the design is my least favorite part. I think without it, the watch would look better. As it is, it kind of looks awkward. I don't know what it is, but I really don't like this sort of outline around the indexes. Everything else about the design works for me personally. Maybe adding a triangle on the bezel in orange would also make the design a little bit more cohesive, but now I'm just sort of, dreaming and creating my own designs. This watch still comes in exactly the same case. It's made out of stainless steel, 42mm diameter, 13.8mm case height, and about a 49.7mm lug-to-lug distance. A lot of people would be disappointed with that because these watches do wear quite large. It still comes with 300 meters of water resistance and the helium escape valve at the 11 o'clock position. It is still powered by the same movement, the caliber 8806, the no-date version of this META certified movement that beats at 25,200 vibrations per hour, in other words, 3.5 hertz. And it also comes with 55 hours of power reserve. Now, this is not a limited edition, it's part of the standard catalog, and this version of this watch is about 6,800 euro on the rubber strap or 7,200 euro on the Milanese stainless steel bracelet. At first, I really liked this release. I think it's an interesting addition to the catalog, and I personally like pops of orange on the watches, especially for summer. But the more I think about it, the more I think this is a bit of an unnecessary release, and maybe the Seamaster lineup of watches is becoming just a little bit too bloated. I do these videos on a weekly basis, and even I have a hard time sort of keeping track of what watches are currently in a catalog because there's so many and they keep on changing them and releasing them. So it becomes a little bit too much for the average consumer to keep up. I think Omega would do better with sort of more focused, trimmed down catalog, but maybe I'm wrong. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Is it too much of a good thing? Or do you think we need more of these sort of small tweaks and additions to the lineup? Next, let's talk about the new Ming 3702 Monolith. This new Ming is part of the trilogy of watches. There's the Minimalist, there's the Ghost, and now there's this Monolith. Out of the three, I actually prefer this one. I think it looks the best. I really like the DLC coated stainless steel case. The dimensions stayed exactly the same, 38mm diameter, 11mm case height, and a 44.5mm lug-to-lug distance, 100 meters of water resistance, and this watch is powered by the Sellita SW300 movement that beats at 4 Hz, and it has approximately 45 hours of power reserve. At a price point that this watch is at 3,500 Swiss francs, it is somewhat a limited edition to 100 pieces each year. I probably would have expected something like a ceramic case, not a DLC coated stainless steel case. I think with the Sellita movement and the stainless steel DLC coated case, 3,500 Swiss francs is a bit too much. But with that being said, Ming tends to be on the expensive side, so this watch here is still the most affordable Ming in the catalog. Next, let's talk about the new Doxa Sub 750T, the Clive Cussler edition. Clive Cussler is a very popular American novelist, and Doxa has been collaborating with him for many years now. This is actually the third time they're collaborating. This is sort of part of the trilogy, and in some ways this is the most Doxa watch out of the three because of that dial color as well as the highlights of orange on the bezel. This watch comes in a stainless steel cushion style case, 45mm diameter, only 11.95mm case height. Why do I say only? Well, because this watch comes with 750 meters of water resistance. I'm not sure how they're able to achieve such high water resistance rating in such a slim case. The watch is powered by the Sellita SW300 that beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour, in other words, 4 Hz, and this is the higher grade of Sellita with 56 hours of power reserve. This watch is part of a very limited edition. Only 94 pieces will be made. It comes with both a stainless steel bracelet as well as a NATO strap, and it's priced around $3,000 or 2,890 euro. And lastly, let's talk about this new Bell & Ross BR05 Skeleton Phantom Ceramic. I think in 2025, Bell & Ross has a bit of a hard time standing out and staying relevant. Lately, they've been really doubling down on ceramic cases and skeletonized design. This time we got both of those design elements in one watch. This model comes in a 41mm diameter, 11.2mm case height with 100 meters of water resistance, and as I already said, it's made out of black ceramic. In terms of the movement powering this watch is the caliber BR322-1 automatic movement, which is a Sellita based movement, the Sellita SW300 to be exact. It beats at 4 Hz and it comes with 54 hours of power reserve. To be honest, this movement is not the best for making it skeletonized because it's not a very beautiful movement to look at. So I'm a little confused here why they chose this movement for this watch, especially at the price tag that it's at. So this will be a limited edition to 500 pieces. This watch is available on both the ceramic bracelet or on the rubber strap. On the ceramic bracelet, this watch costs 9,900 euro, so almost 10,000 euro. And on the rubber strap, it's a little bit less expensive, 9,100 euro. A very expensive watch. I'm not sure how Bell & Ross is coming up with their prices. I think that's one of the reasons why they're having such a hard time staying relevant. Their pricing is just way too high. And that's it for this week's watch releases. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this in the future, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what watch releases stood out to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.